The member for Hunter, the Chief Government Whip.
And I thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Leader of the House and the Minister for Infrastructure and Transport, representing the Minister for Broadband Communication and the Digital Economy. Minister, what progress is being made on the rollout of the National Broadband Network? Why is e-communication important both to members of the House and to the broader community? How has the government's NBN agenda been received, and what is the government's response?
The Minister for Infrastructure and Transport is the Minister representing the Minister for Broadband, Communications and the Digital Economy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Hunter and the Chief Government Whip for that question. Indeed, this week has seen some substantial progress on the rollout of fast, affordable, universal broadband. We believe that the NBN is the single most important piece of infrastructure that we could deliver for the 21st century economy. Important in terms of securing our future prosperity. It will change the way that we work, and it will change the way that we live. Just this week, the Minister released the bold and visionary digital economy strategy. This shows how the NBN will position Australia among the best countries in the world for broadband connection. We announced $60 million in new programs to help communities, small businesses and teachers maximise opportunities from the NBN. We announced that NBN Co has reached agreement for the first large-scale deployment of fibre optic cable for the NBN, covering almost 40% of construction activity planned for the next 2 years. And we confirmed another agreement worth up to $1.1 billion to deploy next-generation fixed wireless broadband to regional and rural areas so that commercial fixed wireless services can start mid-next year, with the full rollout finished by 2015. But, Mr Speaker, I'm also asked, of course, about how this has been received and the importance of e-communication to members of Parliament and to members of the general community. Now, you'd think with all this positive progress, the opposition would have something to say. But we now, of course, are at June. We're at June, and we still haven't had a question on these issues by the Shadow Minister in this House. Not one for all of 2011. Of course, there are explanations of why the Shadow Minister has a bit of an aversion when it comes to emails, given his experience in the past, because we know that the member for Leichhardt last week sent an email to all of his colleagues. Nothing personal, of course. Nothing personal.
Minister will resume his seat. The Minister will resume his seat. Order. Order. The member for Barker on a point of order.
Standing Order 98C. This is not relevant to the Minister's responsibilities whatsoever, and it is not directly relevant to the question.
The order. 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 The Minister will directly relate his material to the question. The Minister.
I certainly am, Mr Speaker, because as Leader of the House I was asked directly about the importance of e-communications to members of Parliament. And of course I understand the embarrassment from those opposite with regard to these issues. But they say, of course, that it wasn't personal. Well, the member for Clare missed a division just today, just this morning, so I'm sure there'll be an email out there bagging him as well. Just like the member for Wentworth got an email about this issue. But so divided are they opposite, Mr Speaker,
Minister will bring
that they had to issue a press release saying that the Shadow Minister was having dinner with the Shadow Minister, the Shadow Treasurer on Tuesday night. They're so divided, Mr Speaker, so divided that they can't bring themselves to engage in the debate about the National Broadband Network. You can't say that the National Broadband Network is a significant piece of infrastructure in this country and then have nothing to say for it. But of course we know that the member for Wentworth was given the job of wrecking the NBN And I note that the Leader of the Opposition was out at a Wreckers earlier today.
Minister,
how appropriate
well,
that the Wrecker was at a Wreckers earlier today.
Minister.